Another Bitcoin mega dump is potentially underway. Is the Bitcoin price potentially setting up for yet another dive down into the 30K region? Let's dive in and analyze what is going on, ladies and gentlemen. Crypto Kirby here, your cryptocurrency expert, back with another edition of the daily live stream. If you are subscribed to this channel, this dump should not have come as a surprise to you, as day in and day out, Uncle Don has been pointing out the importance of this US 10-year bond yield. We know on this channel that this has been something to watch. The bond yield right now is on a parabolic rise, which in turn is giving the US dollar some juice here. And today in particular is a very, very big day for the US dollar index, breaking this downward sloping line of macro resistance. Is the US dollar potentially picking up steam here? And if so, how is this potentially going to affect not only Bitcoin, but the rest of the crypto market as a whole? That's what we're going to analyze here on today's stream. And of course, before we get to it, if you could, smash that thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you for that. And if you are brand new, welcome to the most realistic Bitcoin technical analysis channel you are ever going to find. Hit that subscribe button, tick the little bell, select all, and let's get this crypto. Welcome to the channel. So here we are, folks, a few days after we found a bottom on our last corrective move, right? Now, for several reasons, this area for the rejection makes a lot of sense, in my opinion. We could see here that we did have a micro falling wedge pattern formation, which again, if you are subscribed here, you would know that I pointed this out for you stream after stream. We did hit the target here, right? The target is the largest point of this pattern, dragged over to the breakout points, and you can see, like clockwork, my friends, the price went right up to the target area and then saw a rejection. But that's not the only thing. That's just one factor, right? So we hit the target of the pattern, could have induced a sell-off in and of itself. Then, of course, we have this red range here, this red box, just a classic horizontal line of support and resistance flipping, creating potential bearish confluence. Then we also have this upward sloping line of resistance as well, right? Look, resistance all the way over here in the bull flag. It then flipped into support after breaking out, then flipped back into resistance twice after back testing, and then resistance for a third time on our most recent attempt to the upside. Okay. Right now as well, we are seeing more tentative rejection at the top end here of this parallel channel. To me, this is the heart line of this bullish uptrend, right? It begins right back here, after our breakout from 20,000. This parallel channel, to me, is essentially the median line of the trend. It's a good gauge of the health of the uptrend, in my opinion. Right now, we are flirting with dropping back below it. And not only that, but after we fell through it the first time here on our last correction, this would not be good here, in my opinion, folks. Because why? Old support, right, after we broke through the support of the channel, right, has now flipped into potential resistance. And if we don't recover from being underneath it like we did down here, and we begin to see the trading action down there but still get rejected, to me, folks, this does signal the potential for a further correction to the downside. Let's get this crypto. Now at this point, right, I mean, even though this analysis is completely valid, and I hope that you are appreciating it thus far, many are going to see this because we're in this weird cult mentality state in the Bitcoin market right now. This guy, what does technical analysis even mean? It's tea leaves, Kirby, tea leaves. Well, my friend, you can, point your finger, wag your finger at the Don all you want. Tell me it's tea leaves. Tell me my thumbnails are clickbait. Well, my friends, in terms of the thumbnails, we should all know that the Don has the best thumbnails on YouTube. Change my mind. But it's true, folks, right? This is not fear, uncertainty, or doubt. This is realistic technical analysis. And when we combine what's going on here with the potential rejections going on, with us now potentially looking to start trading below the median parallel channel heart line of this uptrend and possibly back test it and use it as resistance moving forward, mix that into the pot. With the bond yield ripping, right? With the US dollar index ripping. We need to observe what's going on here from a rational perspective. Okay, take a look here at the bond yield. Now, you don't have to like it. Many of these moon boys will just say, Kirby, the US bond yield, that doesn't have anything to do with my Dogecoins. Okay, little Jimmy, I understand your sentiment, but this channel here is for realistic analysis, okay? Just understand for a moment what's going on here. We've seen a rounding bottom and a parabolic rise on the US 10-year bond yield, all right? This right now, with the move looking to burst to another high here, is also providing some momentum for the US dollar index. Now, why is this, right? Well, simply put, when the bond yield is dumping, right, banks and institutions are looking for other assets to diversify into to get a better yield than what's going on with the yield of the bonds, right? When the bond yield is rising rapidly, they like to de-risk a bit and get back into the bonds. It's as simple as that, simple supply and demand, right? So what we're seeing here as well is that this is providing some juice to the US dollar. And if we take a quick look at gold here, I just want to show you, and I'm using gold in particular here because this is essentially one of the most, essentially globally held reserve commodities, right? That can really show you what's happening with the yields here, right? We're seeing right now at the time of recording that the gold price has dropped below 1,700 USD. Savage, heinous, borderline ludicrous, if you do in fact ask me. But if you're not fully still understanding why this is, right, it costs these banks and institutions money to hold the gold, right? They have to pay for custodial services, etc., right? It costs them to hold gold. But when the bonds are diving down into the bond abyss, right, what we see is that it's worth it to pay that money for the gold in their eyes, right? It's worth the risk. But when we're seeing the absolute opposite happen here, why would they pay to hold the gold when they can pay next to nothing at all, literally nothing at all, to hold these bonds and get a yield? You understand this, right? And we're talking about trillions of dollars here. So I understand these don't seem like, very large moves in terms of the percent, but I assure you, just little itty bitty moves in the bond market are huge, huge, huge for these institutions and banks when we're talking about trillions of dollars at a time being invested into them. Let's get this crypto. So what does this mean for the Bitcoin price, the Ethereum price, crypto as a whole, right? What does this mean here? Well, if the markets as a whole are beginning to de-risk, which is also possible with seeing the S&P 500 possibly rolling over here, seeing the Dow Jones possibly rolling over here. Again, all speculative. Nothing has to occur from this. I'm just simply pointing out the possibility, right? If we see this environment shift from very, very, very risk on to now potentially just even a little bit more risk off, Bitcoin is the largest risk on asset in existence, in my opinion. At this point in time, I don't see anything more risk on than the crypto market. Now, I'm sure the cult mentality degenerates will, beg to differ. What do you mean, Kirby? You can cry all you want, little James. This, to me, at the current state of the crypto market, is a very high-risk environment, right? And, speculators that aren't just, young investors or very gambly investors, right? They don't see crypto as some place to park your money and then just let it do its thing. These moves where Bitcoin can drop 20, 30% essentially in the blink of an eye, that doesn't sit well with a lot of people with retirement accounts, people that are dependent upon their investments for their life, right? You have to understand that Bitcoin, even though it's a great, great asset in my opinion, it's still at this point in its life cycle is looked at as extremely risk on, right? Nobody, I'm sure there are some, but the majority of people, right, at least in my opinion, are putting Bitcoin into a very risky part of their portfolio, not a very anti-risk part of their portfolio. I hope that makes sense. Let's get this crypto. So right now, in terms of targets, for me right now, watch out for this yellow line here, okay? And the reason for that is it's right at our old local low here. I'll actually zoom in a bit more. It's right at our old local low. And if we do happen to see a little itty bitty bounce here, right, my friends, what does this look like? Ding, 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 chicken wings for dinner, tofu if you're vegan. We could see a little miniature bearish head and shoulders pattern created right here. But it doesn't really matter even if there is a bearish head and shoulders. It's just that the neckline is here, because whether we drop below here without the bearish head and shoulders, it's the same line, right? And I'm just pointing out, if we do see a bounce and it doesn't really get above this shoulder here, we could then also look for this to basically play out in a similar fashion. And if it were to drop down just for fun, let's take the potential extrapolated measured move, which is the size from the neckline to the head, right? And then we put that down at the neckline. Gives us an extrapolated target down at about 41,500-ish, okay? And this is an interesting range simply because you can see here on my chart, I have these key critical areas outlined. The first one for me here, folks, is basically between 40,500 and 38,500. It's just our old market peaks here, right? Where the Bitcoin price could potentially look to backtest down to, build a base on top of old resistance, right? Possibly build a new support base on top of old resistance and then look to climb higher. I think that's certainly possible. But if it falls below there, we have to start observing levels down in the low 30,000s, in my opinion. We don't really have a significant line of horizontal line support here besides down at about 34,000, in my opinion. And then below that, it's basically all of this down here, all of these old lows, right? And again, right, this isn't any type of call that this must happen, this must go there. No, right? As a trader, as an analyst, as a realist, most importantly, a realist, right? I'm looking for areas of potential confluence if the price is to drop below here, right? But right now, I've been saying this all week, until the Bitcoin price gets back above this red trend line here, begins to consolidate and build some strength there, I just don't see right now that this trend, from a micro sense, is in control of the bulls anymore. To me, it still looks like, until proven otherwise, as long as Bitcoin is below here, that the bears still have a chance for a large correction deep down into the crypto abyss. You don't have to like that sentiment, but for me, that's the reality of the situation. And if you are appreciating me, just getting these realistic opinions out there, showing you my realistic analysis, as somebody that's been in this market for a very long time, I really would appreciate that thumbs up. So thank you for that, and welcome to the channel. Hit that subscribe button, tick the little bell, and select all so you do not miss any more of these important Bitcoin analyses. Now, in terms of the upside target, well, if we do break through that range, right, in particular, if we do get above here, right, consolidate, and then look to move higher, you should all be very well aware that the Don does have one target here in particular, folks, at least one mathematical target to take a look at, and that is the 1.618 golden Fibonacci logarithmic extension target, pulled from our last market cycle high back in December of 2017. Down to the bottom, the doldrums of the bear market, right, down in the low $3,000 range, right? That gives us our 1.618 logarithmic scale Fibonacci extension target, all the way up there at 61,500 roughly. It will vary from exchange to exchange based upon the high and the low of the move. But beyond that, I really don't have anything to the upside, and if we get there, I will have to just play that day by day and take it for what it is. But right now, I can't look at anything further than 61,500 realistically. So basically 60,000 to 62,000 would be my upside target, but I can't really start to look at that as a valid possibility until we break above this range, right? And again, maybe for new market participants that aren't understanding, right? This is technical analysis, and what I'm showing you here is all based off what I perceive to be probabilities of what's happening, right? If we're below this range, the probability of further downside is greater than the probability of further upside. If we get above here and consolidate, the probability for further potential upside becomes greater than the possibility of further potential downside, right? That's all that technical analysis is looking for, right? There are no crystal ball predictions here. There is nobody that knows exactly where the price is going to go, right? That's not your job to look and say, yep, the price will be exactly there, exactly at this time, exactly on that date. That's trash. Anybody that's saying anything like that has no idea what they're talking about. Technical analysis is all about probabilities. And sure, yes, we're all going to lose trades, right? And we're all, hopefully, going to win trades as well, as long as you keep putting yourself into high reward, low risk ratio setups with what you perceive to be a high probability for the trend to continue to roll in your direction. And if it doesn't, hey, have your stop loss in place. You take a little loss, right? And you move on to the next. You just can't get wiped out making bad decisions in this market, right? So for me right now, I'm strategizing for my next trade setup idea right here, right now. And if you'd like to see exactly how I'm going to be setting up my trade ideas, my strategy ideas, where I'm looking to potentially enter, exit, potentially take profit, everything like that, I will be posting it all exclusively for you in absolute real time in VIP. So if you're not already in my VIP, today is the day. It's time to transform yourself from average Joe into savage Joe. Let's get this crypto. I'll see you in VIP right now after this video as the dawn looks to potentially strike gold again. I pulled up my last huge trade here, folks. I have dabbled with a little bit of a short position in here just several days ago at this point. I have exited my short position here right now, but I am looking for new entries right here, right now. Yes, and I will be keeping you up to date with all of that exclusively in VIP as I look to potentially crush this market like a 2-ton man on a tuna fish can. Let's get this crypto. And if you're wondering right now, why? How are you not trembling like a leaf in the wind here as everybody else is going insane with all of the crazy ups and downs in this market? My friends, you should know this by now. It's truly because the dawn has been up the mountain. The dawn has been down the mountain. And quite frankly, the dawn has also been everywhere in between. And I have wined and dined with kings and queens. And I have slept in alleys and dined on pork and beans. And let me tell you something, little James. The dawn prefers the wine and queens every single time. Ha ha ha. So listen, folks. Don't get wrecked here if we dump. Have a plan for yourself, right? Potentially profit or potentially mitigate your risk, whatever you choose to do, right? If we move up, potentially look to profit or, contrarily, look to potentially mitigate your risk. Whatever it is, you need to have a plan. If you fail to plan, then your plan is to fail. The dawn does not plan to fail. The dawn plans to succeed. And right now, folks, as I just stated earlier, I'm telling you right now, last time before I get off this video, I can only be here on YouTube once per day. In VIP, my posts are around the clock, valid, and eligible to be posted 24/7. As the dawn sees it, the dawn posts it, okay? And right now, I am looking for my next potentially juicy trade setup idea right here, right now, for this specific range, okay? So right now, you just need to remain cool, calm, and collected. I know I am. Many will likely get caught like a deer in the headlights here. Many will probably take that trip to Wreck City with Average Joe and James at the water cooler. But that does not have to be you. You're better than that. You deserve better than that. Today is the day. It's time to transform yourself from Average Joe into Savage Joe. Let's get this crypto. On that note, my friends, I will see you in VIP right now after this video as the dawn looks to potentially strike gold again. Do not miss my next important real-time VIP alert, my friends. I will see you in VIP right now after this video. Let's get this crypto. If you could one last time, that thumbs up would be so greatly appreciated. Thank you for that. If you're brand new, welcome to the channel. Subscribe, tick the little bell, and select all so you do not miss any more of these important crypto and Bitcoin analyses. Welcome to the channel. And until next time, my friends, I will see you in VIP right now after this video. The dawn has spoken. Be safe, be happy, be healthy. It's your boy, Crypto Kirby. Peace and love, my friends. Curbs. Oh, and beware of the fake Kirby imposters down in the comment section. I will never post a phone number on your comment. I will never send you any type of unsolicited email. That is not me. You can see the two examples down below. They have the same name as me, but they're posting phone numbers. They're using very weird typing to get around the spam filter. That is not me. This is an example of my real comment here. You can see the nameplate has a gray background to it, and I do leave a creator heart next to the thumbs up so so you can validate that that is me. I generally only post the VIP information in a pinned comment, so you know that is me there. My friends, don't fall for any of the fakes. Be smart, be safe. I'll see you in VIP right now after this video. Let's get this crypto.
The material in this video has no regard to the specific investment objectives, financial situation, or particular needs of any viewer. This video is presented solely for informational and entertainment purposes and is not to be construed as a recommendation, solicitation, or an offer to buy or sell any securities, commodities, cryptocurrencies, or any related financial instruments. Nor should any of its content be taken as investment advice. Crypto Kirby is not a financial advisor. The views expressed in this video are completely speculative opinions and do not guarantee any specific result or profit. Trading and investing is extremely high risk and can result in the loss of all of your capital. Any opinions expressed in this video are subject to change without notice. Crypto Kirby is not under any obligation to update or keep current the information contained herein. Crypto Kirby may have an interest in the securities, commodities, cryptocurrencies, and or derivatives of any entities referred to in this material. Crypto Kirby accepts no liability whatsoever for any loss or damage of any kind arising out of the use of all or any part of this material. Crypto Kirby recommends that you consult with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment or trading decisions. Thank you for watching and have a great day.